the weapons out of dangerous people's hands so they're not a menace to the rest of civilization. And that can take place, and it's achievable if we have a coalition of partners. And that's exactly what Donald Trump is endeavoring to do. And I hope that he does it. A lot of people have tried, and maybe perhaps if we pray enough, we'll actually get some resolve over there, because God only knows we need it. Are you a hot dog eater? If I'm going to eat a hot dog, I got to tell you, love Nathan's Hot Dogs. No, this is not a commercial for Nathan's Hot Dogs. I'm just telling you, I like Nathan's Hot Dogs. They're very good. A little sauerkraut on there, a mustard, a little ketchup is always a beautiful thing. But how about 200,000 pounds of Nathan's and Curtis hot dogs? Well, they're being returned, by the way. These Nathan hot dogs are produced in Ohio, and they're getting complaints. And you know why? Metal. Metal's found in their packages. John Morale and Company of Cincinnati said it had gotten 3 complaints and notified the federal government on Friday, according to the AP. There have been no confirmed reports of injuries or adverse reactions from the products thus far, and the recall applies to 14-ounce sealed film packages labeled Nathan's Skinless 8 beef franks with use dates of August 19th, 2017, and to 16-ounce sealed film packages there called Curtis Beef Master Beef Franks with a use date of June 15th, 2017. And then the packages have a EST 296 on the sides and were shipped to retail locations nationwide. So if you have Nathan's Hot Dogs, you have them in your freezer, your deep freeze, you may want to check those dates and go on the website and just find out, because you don't want to have these metal shavings in the hot dogs. A lot of people feed them to their kids. They're cheap. Put them on the grill and you're barbecuing, and you don't want your kid choking on a hot dog with metal in it, or any adult at that. So be careful. I don't know how things like that happen, but there's malfunctions and machinery, and one little part gets stuck, and there's just a lot of moving parts. So you should always kind of just be careful when you're eating. That's why they say chew your food, don't inhale your food, just in case you find something before it actually goes down the hatch. All right, so this big deal in Washington is over Flynn invoking the Fifth Amendment and declining the Senate's subpoena. We're talking about National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. He's going to invoke it. He's going to do it. He's going to use the Fifth Amendment protection against self-incrimination as he notifies a Senate panel that he won't hand over documents in the probe into Russia meddling in the 2016 election, according to reports. The Associated Press broke the news this morning, citing an unnamed source, and Fox News quickly confirmed it with its own unnamed sources. In the nomination, the notification will come in a letter at the Senate Intelligence Committee a little bit later on today. The person providing details spoke on condition of anonymity in order to discuss private interactions between Flynn and the committee. And Flynn's decision, folks, comes less than 2 weeks after the committee issued a subpoena for Flynn's personal documents. This move indicates that Flynn, for the time being, will not be providing records to the Senate Intelligence Committee, obviously. And basically, in part, because of the highly charged political environment and the recent appointment of special counsel for this case. And Flynn's decision appears to be the first example of how this decision to appoint former FBI Director Robert Mueller as a special counsel to investigate Russia's meddling. So those close to Flynn say that his decision not to provide these records is not confirmation or evidence of wrongdoing in the case. Of course, those on the left are going to say immediately this shows emphatically Mr. Flynn is guilty. course, before anything is concluded, just because of the appearance. They don't understand the legalities. And there's a lot of it. So there's the update there. Doesn't need to be belabored, but of course, they will stretch, they will fabricate, they will connive any way they can to try to smear anybody's name. And if it doesn't get the outcome they're looking for, and of course their outcome is impeach the guy. Impeach him. I even asked about Mike Pence, this one liberal, and said he was probably of the same kilt as well. Didn't like him either. Unbelievable. I don't know. I was a little, I guess you could say I was irked or perturbed, not angry. But when you can't answer why you believe, have no real good, honest to goodness answer, I mean, what is that? I wonder, do you not got hatred in your heart? I mean, you have to do a little house cleaning, a little stock inventory as well, if it's just that particular thing and not knowing why. I mean, if you're going to be angry at somebody, have a good reason. Have a valid reason. Be able to point to here. And what they can't hear here is what conclusion or what wrongdoing or lawbreaking has been done to warrant such an act to be done. And forget about all the treasonous things that were done under Clinton and even Obama. And it's a mile long. Things that he's done when he was president, questionable things. People he released from prison. People allowed to get away with treasonous things with our military. And then classified information with Hillary Clinton's emails. And Benghazi. I mean, gosh, you haven't even heard that brought up. But how our diplomats died. And then they blamed it on a video. A video. Of all things. Yeah, don't forget about that. Don't forget about Benghazi, folks. And a lot of good Americans will never, ever do that. If you forget about it, folks, then what happens? History has this weird way of repeating itself, and God forbid we have that happen again. Talking about being asleep at the wheel. Well, 8 years of passiveness, leading from behind. You don't see President Obama, well, I'm not going to go there because we know what he's up to. You think that, he had been saying things. Well, the big thing was, remember the different imagery? I'll just, since I just opened up that. Yeah, don't go there unless you want to go ahead and answer it. Well, here it is. Obama bowed to the king when he was there. You didn't see Trump bowing. He didn't go prostrate on the ground. I swear, Obama was prostrate on the ground, worshiping. Yeah, well, we don't need to lead. For too long. We have led. Now it's time for others. Problem is others didn't. The world is looking for leadership. And now they finally have somebody that can lead. They get all the liberal media and flaming snowflakes back home wishing bad things for this president. When Obama was president, this talk show host can tell you, honest to goodness, I prayed for him. I hoped that he'd make the right decisions. And I prayed for America and its people for us to be safe. But unfortunately, we became weaker. People became more unemployed. The stock market wasn't robust. People were on the food lines. So-called Obamacare put people in massive debt and massive crisis. It's still trying to fix the mess. You got 94 million Americans out of work. About 43 million people living in poverty. More than 10 million Americans added to food stamps. So the lowest home income in 51 years during Obama. The national debt skyrockets way over $19.5 trillion. All under Obama. I'd say that's pretty lousy. I'd say we needed help. And America voted. And Trump is the solution. There's no perfect president. There's others that certainly are on a mission. And I believe that Trump is on a mission to fix America first, primarily. We need help. And it doesn't help when you get lying fixed media trying to cook up stories and fabricate. But that's evil, folks. That's evil. And the same evil that I heard in somebody's voice over the weekend, which was a shame, and I will pray for this individual. But that same evil prevails in this country. And it's a shame. I think it's sad. I've never seen it in this type of climate in my lifetime, where they will have it in for somebody so bad and won't even give somebody the benefit of the doubt. They just have their bow and arrows, and they're ready just to shoot it. And then ask questions later. We just want to shoot. There's the target. And it all goes. It doesn't matter. You just pull out all the stumps. It doesn't matter what you say, how you do it. And that's what Hillary Clinton's up with her organization, trying to help. Yeah, not trying to help America, but trying to hurt America with her new foundation that she's building because her old foundation's failing. But how they can take liberal ideas and how they can use progressive ideas to further fracture and segment more America. That doesn't bring people together. It segments people more. And that's what Obama did. He race baited. He put races, pitted them together, didn't support the police. He just had to mouth off. And he stood up to the DOJ when he shouldn't have, when there was investigations going on. And he threw his weight around and did things that were highly questionable through his 8 years. And executive orders that he did hurt America, didn't help. It stalemated so many different initiatives for business and commerce to hurting people's health care instead of helping people. We'll not forget about that, and we'll not let him go on that. Maybe Trump doesn't sugarcoat it as good as Obama did. I'd rather have somebody a little brash, a little rough and tumble, than somebody that could sound so good. How you doing? Great to be here. I'm Obama. So great to be here. Thank you very much. Okay. Terrific. I don't want somebody to sit there and sugarcoat and give me a bunch of niceties and platitudes. I want this country to get fixed and protected. We have a lot of rebuilding to do. And a lot of the governors know that and throughout our states. And they're very thankful. Law enforcement is doing their jobs, thankfully. And even during Obama, they were doing their jobs, but their hands were tied. Now our military's hands are untied. We're actually able to go back to work. And all of us should really do that very same thing, including the left that might be listening today. Go back to work. Go build your business. Go make America great in your way. Pray for the president. May not like the president. Pray for him. You don't hate him. And if you're not Christian, well, I don't know what kind of human being you are to wish hate and destruction on an American president who is the leader of us all. May not be your leader, but he is the president of the United States, like it or not. It's already been written in history. It's a very, it's a fact. It's factual. It's not cooked up. We all saw him take the oath of office, okay? It's done. Get over it once and for all. North Korea, they're at it again. Launched another missile. I mentioned it earlier today. And Rex Tillerson mentioned, his concerns about these particular things. Like I say, it's warranted, and sooner rather than later, do not be surprised if something doesn't show down very, very quickly here. But they're launching out further. They went higher than the International Space Station, okay? 350 miles before splashing into the Pacific